All right, so here we go. 30 interesting facts about Sharla and I.
That's right. I know that you guys are dying to know all about us.
Right, because we're so interesting and awesome.
Really, sometimes it's just fun as you watch our silly show to say, oh yeah, I really know something about them. So we've tried to like surprise each other.
Yes, we really did try to think of things that maybe you don't know that's about me yet. So, and then it's nothing that you guys would know, or some of you might know, friends and family and things like that. So maybe we'll surprise you guys too.
That's right. So we're gonna have 15 random facts each to just share and maybe give just a little bit of description, but not too long, just a quick fun video of getting to know us. And be sure to comment and share on the things that you guys liked or something fun about you that maybe we don't know.
Right? Or maybe you know us and you're like, hey, you totally forgot to say this, but make sure you know, keep it PG.
Yeah, and don't forget to click like and subscribe.
There you go. All right, so you go first.
Okay, let's do the easy one first. So I am 7 of 9. So growing up, my parents had 9 kids. So the whole like, I don't even know what stupid show that was. I'm 7 of 9.
That's funny, there was a show.
But really, one of my sisters didn't live, so then I'm 6 of 8. So there's 8 living kids in my family.
And I'm the baby of 10.
There you go. So I love that yours is a mix though. So she's got like craziness over there.
I have 4 stepbrothers and 3 brothers and 2 sisters. So,
there you go.
And I was raised with all of them since I was a wee little child. So they're just all there. So I'm the baby of 10.
That's all she knows.
All I know.
And I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I don't mess it up and say like, where did I say it
I
already?
know. Good call.
All right. So I have a kind of a funny one. I think Tiffany knows this about me, but it's a funny thing to have to like say out loud on a video. Okay, so I hate saying my name. Okay, so my name's Sharla, and I think I do an okay job of pronouncing that, but for some reason, like, it's one of those like flashbacks to like dances when I was a teenager, and it's loud, and the boy's asking, what's your name? And so I'm trying to say my name, and he hears Shauna or Charlotte or something that's not Sharla. And then it's just really unique, and I have to spell it, whether it's an S or a C. I didn't think it was so difficult, but it is. And so I have to spell it for people, and so when we go places and they ask for our names, and then I'll say my daughter's name, and then Tiffany picks at me, so I'm trying to get better. It's not that I don't like my name, because I do. I just don't like saying it for people. There you go, there's my random fact.
That is funny. I'm like, oh, I didn't do it about my name, but I could have. But that is so true about her. All right. Okay, so my turn. So I broke the first bone in my body when I was 31 years old.
Wow, that's impressive.
It took me that long to break bones. I've only broken that one.
I was like, what'd you break? A toe?
Yeah, I broke my pinky toe. Like, shattered it, splintered it, all crazy, jagged craziness, yeah.
Yeah, I think I broke mine in high school. Oh, toes.
Yeah, all right.
The pinky toes. Okay, so I have never, ever had my ears pierced or any other piercings. So we like to do plasma, and so when I had the whole medical evaluation, he asked where your piercings are, or where have you ever had piercings, even if they've closed. And so he was actually really like, oh really, like never. I was like, never. So nice. That was funny.
So, I can do the splits.
Dude, why are we not demonstrating?
We're not gonna like close in on your earlobes.
Mine aren't exciting, they're not talent. Whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so this is a weird one. Somebody brought it up to me that I met recently. Like, it's one of those questions. Sometimes when you like see people like, ooh, I have a question about this one thing about them, but you just are always self-conscious not to ask. So they asked, and I was like, oh, I don't even think about that. So I have a scar on my neck, and I don't think anything about it. So if you ever see it, people who are not watching this video and are like, hey, what's this scar on your neck? Oh, I don't care, I'll tell you all about it. But it sounds ridiculous. So when I was little, like 1 year old, I got cat scratch fever. Like, it's a real disease. It's not just
it was fake until I met her.
It's not a crazy song, it's a real disease. And so I'm 1, I'm little, I'm not nice, and I like petted my cat or pulled its tail. I don't know. It scratched me somewhere on my face, but that's not what really happened. Whatever was in its claw, infection, settled on my neck like a golf ball size on your 1 year old child. So, you know, my parents were so happy about this. Anyways, it ended up resulting in surgery to get that removed, which also left this lovely big huge scar and also snipped a few little nerves. And so, especially while I was a kid, I have a really crooked smile because of that. And especially in my high school years, I had to train myself how to have a less crooked smile. And then how to be like, okay, that's a little fake, and how to be okay having a crooked smile.
You're like one of those characters in a book where he gave her a crooked smile and her heart fluttered.
Oh my gosh, so my husband and I got married, and we're on our honeymoon, and we go to a caricaturist, and so he's doing us, and then like, I was like, oh crap, what if he like over-exaggerates my smile? Like I'm gonna hate. I was so worried, but it turned out fine. Anyways, the things that we worry about.
Right. All right. So it's my turn. How about this? I have published a short story.
Tiffany's a published author.
I am a little bit of one. I'd like to be a bigger one, but I won a contest in a short story book, and I have a published short story called Unintended Consequences. And it's about an author who's trying to finish up his story, but for some reason he keeps killing his main characters, so he can't figure out how to make them live. And then an unexpected guest shows up at his cabin to wreak a little bit of havoc and remind him of all of his characters he's killed in the past. So
it was so good. I read it. It was so good. I'm so happy for Tiffany.
Yay. Yep, that was exciting.
All right, so I have a silly one that I like to not try to explain to people, but you know, those like 2 truths and a lie or whatever. So, or 2 lies and truth. I don't know. So anyway, so I have danced at a bachelor party before.
Oh my gosh. That is not how my husband explains it. Sharla did a striptease.
Oh, sorry, I meant stripping. I stripped at a bachelor party. Striptease, definitely, that's what I meant. It's true, I did. He was there.
My husband was there.
I have witnesses. My husband was there. It was not his bachelor party, it was their other brother. I danced for my brother-in-law, future brother-in-law.
Right, you weren't even married to
I wasn't even married.
Anyways.
It was just awkward and weird.
It's a really funny story.
I got my best friend at the time to do it with me. Thank you so much, Taffrey. And we like danced around him and peeled fruit.
They stripped the fruit of its skin.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it was, all right, that is a weird memory.
Right,
there you go.
Right, I'm like, I can't even imagine what that would be. That's so awkward and weird to be like, let me peel it. What the heck?
It was weird, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
What teenagers do.
True.
All right. I don't even know how to like trump that.
It's not trumping, it's just sharing.
Right, here we go, I got a good one. I was paid to dress up like Marilyn Monroe and wave on a street corner.
Oh, how awesome. Right. Did you have a white dress?
That was my costume.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice big blonde wig?
I sure did. I worked at a costume shop when I was in high school. And so they dressed me up in all sorts of things, and then the manager was like, you need to put this on. And I did. I stood out on the corner and waved in my Marilyn Monroe dress.
Oh, how funny. All right, let's go to something less obnoxious, I guess. Try and calm it down. Not a competition here. Tiffany's like, yeah, it is. All right, so I had braces as an adult. So a few years back, I actually had Invisalign on my lower teeth. I didn't have them as a kid. And actually, I'm going to tie this one to something else so I don't use it as a separate one. But when I was a kid, I sucked my finger, and so I grew up with a really big overbite. And my dad always threatened me that I would need headgear and braces as he was a dentist. However, that didn't work out for me. My teeth all grew in beautifully, and my jaw grew out, and it worked out. I have a little bit of an overbite, but nothing crazy. And later, just the shifting of things, my front bottom teeth just started shifting pretty bad. It was hard to keep them clean, so just wasn't even a year of Invisalign, kind of straightened those guys up, and so now I have a permanent retainer behind those teeth to keep them in place. But it's one little thing that's not bothering me anymore. There you go.
All right, well, I'm like, I could trade one of mine if we want to be in whatever. So I have an implant tooth and an add-on to a baby teeth because I was missing 2 adult teeth. So when I had to go get my braces and things like that, they drilled in and stuck an implant into my face and added on to this one or whatever. So I don't have perfectly, thank you, I don't have perfectly straight in line teeth or whatever. My front teeth look a little bit of buck teeth or whatever. But so that's because I got fake teeth. Yay,
hey, there you go, teeth stories.
Right.
Speaking of teeth stories, let's just transition. No, but my first job, I worked for my dad because he's a dentist. So I was like family help. and didn't make a lot of money, but I did learn a lot that I did not appreciate at the time. So as an adult, I'm really grateful for that experience, and I spent about 5 years working for him as a teenager, and then my next, say like, teenage job was working at a hotel reservation center, taking reservations, and I ended up in the group reservations, which was really fun. Other than that, my main job has been getting to be a mom, and that's been a blessing.
Right, I've got some little jobs, but I didn't write those down. I don't want to talk about them. How about, I think I love fruity sweet treats more than I love chocolate. Like I would rather have like fruity candies like gummy bears and gummy worms and Starburst more than chocolate. Like I think I teeter that way.
And I'm like the nutty chocolate person.
Yeah. Like caramel and chocolate I really like, and like Twix and things like that, but when I'm in the store I'm craving something, I don't crave chocolate very often. I mostly crave like fruity, yummy, gummy, chewy candies.
That's funny. All right, so I'm gonna go on to my pet peeve.
I will too.
All right, I have a lot of them, and then I can be guilty of them too. So the one I'm sharing is that I have a pet peeve about being on time, which sometimes I'm not, and so I'm guilty. But it's like important things on time, like to like meetings or church or things like that, where it's like, hey Tiffany, yeah, we'll meet up around this time. I feel like that's more of a flexible thing, and maybe Tiffany's like, that's why I do not believe you at all about being on time, which is true.
But you're always on time to important meetings. I do know that about you.
That's right.
You're always on time to meetings.
Yeah, and growing up, we were not very prompt family, so I will say that has definitely been something that I have tried to take some control of, especially having lots of kids. That's been a challenge, but you know what? You can do it.
Yep. So my pet peeve, I have many of them too, and what's even more funny, before I tell my pet peeve, is we were playing the game 5 things, or a game of something, like kind of like this with my family, and my thing is, what is my pet peeve? And all of my family wrote down a pet peeve, and they were all right about every single one of them. They knew my pet peeves, and they still do them. I was like, there's a new pet peeve right there.
Stop doing the things you know I don't like doing.
So I would have to say one of my biggest pet peeves is leaving your crap at a walkway.
Oh, all the time.
I hate that there's just like a strew of things through my house, and I can't even like walk into the room without tripping over size 14 shoes. Massive things. I'm like, come on, really? All right.
When I was little, my favorite Disney movie was The Little Mermaid.
Mine too, that's on my list.
So we have The Little Mermaid in common.
Oh,
and Ariel. Growing up, I know, she was awesome and so fun. I just want to be her and swim,
run in the pool. I used to play with my cousins and we'd see mermaids.
So my favorite part of this story is that I have 2 brothers pretty close in age to me, and so we memorized all the lines, and so even they had assigned lines when we watched the movie that they had to help participate, that we all said all the lines to the movie.
Oh, me and my cousin used to make up dances to the songs and make our family watch this dance while we were all together.
Oh my gosh, my friend and I tried to do one for a talent show at school to the Kiss the Girl song. Oh, that movie. It was real, the big hit.
Right. Ours was Under the Sea.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
All right, so you took mine too.
I did, so I guess it's back to me.
Yep.
All right, so it's kind of a funny one. Like, I have gray eyes. It's kind of funny to say, so sort of. So I have like weird genetic conversations that was just normal growing up in my family, that we talked about these things, recessive and dominance and whatever. So from my dad, I got his little gold star around my pupil. But outside of that, the color of my blue is more of a gray. And so that came from my mom's mom, who had gray eyes. And so my mom has beautiful kind of turquoisey blue eyes, but I didn't get that. My brother got that. And so when my kids look at my eyes, and a lot of people look at my eyes, they think I have green eyes because of the gold and then the gray. But the gold's a modifier, so I have gray eyes, which is kind of cool because I think like one of my kids got gray eyes. And so that's been kind of a fun thing. So I'm totally fine saying I have green eyes, or hazel, I guess I'd go for it. But like there's a color, it's a real color, and like it's kind of fun to be like, I kind of have like grayish eyes.
It's gunmetal gray.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. My eyes got brown. That's not on here. That does not count. That's boring.
Thanks.
So you're welcome. No, just brown is boring. Stop it. I love TV crime shows.
Me too, but that's not on mine.
I know. I'm like, I love so many of them, and I watch them, and I take my children with them.
Me too. My kids are like, those are my favorites. favorites, and I was like, oh, what am I doing?
Right. I did hold off for a very long time, and some of them I still don't let them watch, but I do. I love them, and I start collecting them. And like NCIS is one of my favorites, and I love Criminal Minds and Bones, and I don't know, a Blue Collar. Like they're all so good. I love catching the bad guy and sticking it to him in the end.
And I grew up watching Law and Order, like just so good. So I feel like I've just like had this affinity towards it, but then Law and Order got a little too real, so I kind of back off. And so it's just been within the last 5-ish years or so, I'd say I got back into it. But I love crime shows.
Never watched them growing up at all.
That's so funny.
Never. But I do as an adult.
I feel like it's so weird to get down to the last few to be like, what do I want to finish on?
I know. I ended up with more than 15.
See, that's why I was like, if I combine those. Okay, this might be just an easy one. I love volleyball.
I didn't put that, but I did.
She does too. So we love volleyball. We love to play volleyball. We love to have our kids play with us volleyball. I love it so much. In high school, I tried out for volleyball. I wasn't very good back then. There was an excuse. I was out of town for tryouts, and they already had their team when I came back. Blah blah blah. I'm sure I just wasn't good enough. But I took a volleyball class in high school. I definitely improved. So over the years, I feel like I got better as I got older. So that was fun. So I do love volleyball, and if I could play volleyball every day, I would be happy.
Yeah, I think that would be my exercise of choice too, is be volleyball every day. I love daisies. I think they're my favorite flower.
That's my favorite flower.
I know, and I was like, I don't know if you put that or not, but I didn't.
I didn't know I don't think I knew that was your favorite. I know, but to say that all these years later about
I know, like I really love white roses. That's one of my other favorites. Yeah. But I was like, the more I think about it, like especially walking in Texas and we see the little white pokey flower, I'm like, I really do love daisies. I do love daisies.
They make me happy. I love daisies. Okay, when I was a teenager, the teenage car I drove.
Oh, this is.
There you go, we go to the cars. Okay, so when I was a teenager, our family just had like teenage cars we could drive. And so my dad, I swear, ended up having a fleet at one point where like the older siblings were married, even had them. We all had Geo Metros. And like we even lined them up once, like I swear like a Toyota commercial where you jump next to your car, and we literally did that. I don't even know if we had enough drivers for all the Geos we had. We had so many lined up. And because of that, I think I've killed 3 Geo Metros in my teen years, but there was always another one to take its place. The first day I went to drive my car after I got my license, I went to start in the morning and I just never started. And we never figured out what was wrong with that car. Like literally.
It was a hint, don't do it.
I don't know, it's so funny. But later, when I was about 19 or 20, I did buy my first car off my dad who got it for me. So I paid him for it and got my first little car for me, so a little Toyota Tercel, and that lasted for several years through the first years of being married. So that was fun. That was funny.
So I have a big age gap in my family, so we didn't have a teenage driver car when I was a kid. So I learned how to drive my mom's Camry and then my sister's Corolla. Even my brother took me out on his Jeep to teach me how to drive. I drove with a lot of siblings, and when I know, like my sister-in-law
taught me how to drive stick, which was awesome.
Right. So my first car was in 1982, so it was the same year that I was born.
It's like for you.
I know. It was a Mazda 626 LX. It was and I named it Gadget because I have to name all my cars. And like for it being an 82, like it had all these gadgets and all these buttons, and like it had a sunroof, and it had everything you could ever like want it to have or need it to have. And when I accelerated, the music got louder.
Yes, the radios have that option back then where you could like adjust that.
It's awesome. So if you wanted louder music, you just drove faster.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
I know. And it was a stick shift, so I drive a manual.
Yeah. All right, so growing up, I played the violin in elementary school, and about 5th grade I stopped because the middle school didn't have an orchestra, so I didn't care. I was like done. And that was fine. But my kids have been taking the piano for like 6 years or something crazy, and so a few years back, actually, as an adult, took 2 years of piano lessons. Unfortunately, I have not kept up on it, so that would be a fun challenge for me to go back through my stuff, but it was actually really humbling to take lessons from a teacher who's younger than me, and also she was really cute and wanted me to like participate in the recital. I'm like, I cannot do that. I am here to learn for myself, but that's a lot of embarrassment, so...
You did so good!
It was so hard!
She did good. She did.
That was a fun one, though.
I don't do music. So nothing about music for me. But I have never had a moving violation ticket.
Oh. Yeah, I can't.
I've had a parking ticket.
Oh.
And
you're fine, just parking.
yeah. But that was a weird, long conversation about like where I worked, and there's nowhere to park around the building except for no parking zones.
Nice.
That's what happens when you work at a used car dealership. Nah, I don't want to talk about that. I forgot I worked there. And I've had you don't live in Arizona anymore, you need to change your license ticket, but I've never had a moving violation. Every time I got pulled over, I got out of it.
That's funny. That's really funny. Okay, so I had two choices when I was applying to college. And so one was a university out of state, and then one was a local community college. And I really wanted to go out of state. I wanted to meet all these cute boys. I wanted to major in cute boys. Like, I was serious. And I did not get into that college, and I cried and cried quite a bit. But then I was like, all right, done. I'll stay home. I have free tuition to this other place. I'm fine. No big deal.
You still found a cute boy.
And really, that's where he was. So if I had gone away to school, it would have taken a lot longer to find that cute boy. So he was right there, basically 6 miles down the road from me growing up. Who knew? So we met at our freshman year, and so we've known each other, goodness, 24 years we've known each other. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
So we just celebrated our 20th anniversary, but it was really fun. I had a great time at the community college and loved it and really met great people. So it worked out really great, and sometimes a no is a blessing, even though you don't see it that way.
Right? That's funny, because I had to leave home to go find my man, and you had to stay home to find your man.
It's true!
That's funny, but they were both in Arizona. Who knew? And then we had to leave Arizona because it's too hot.
So true.
All right, so here's a fun one. So I don't know how many we're supposed to have left.
Just one more.
Oh, this is my last one? One more after this one.
One more after this one, because
Okay.
I started. So you have two left.
Okay. So all 4 years of high school, I was a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. I have been all different shades in my hair.
Right? Somebody likes attention. No. Somebody doesn't know what her preference is.
Somebody gets bored really easy, and hair regrows.
There you go. All right, so mine's kind of a funny one. Like, it's I call it the W curse.
Oh,
So my last name starts with a W, and as a maiden name, my maiden name was a W. And when I was in high school, I took this art class as a senior, and you're supposed to take your last letter initial and do it as a Gothic letter and dress it up. And so I was like, well, I'm going to get married someday, and I'm not going to be a W. So I did my first letter initial. I was like, I'm done with W. I'm moving up in the alphabet. Well, yeah, I got laughed at by God for that. So, but the curse is more than just me staying W, and it's a specific curse. It's you stay a W and you go down in the alphabet. So my sister-in-law did it, my mother did it, my aunt did it, I did it. I'm waiting for which one of my daughters is going to get the curse. It's real.
that's funny. That's funny.
And one of mine is like, I'll stay. I like my last name. What if he has my last name? I was like, oh my gosh.
No. See, and like, I didn't even... Yeah, I was kind of like, I'm done with my last name too. I had all my teachers trained in high school that my first middle name. Even my husband now, he thought my middle name was my last name for the longest time. It wasn't until like, I think we were like actually filing for our marriage certificate, and so I wrote my maiden name, and he was like, wait, I was like, no, that's my middle name.
That's so funny.
Yeah, sorry if you have my last name, my maiden name. Anyways, okay, so here's my last one, which is really funny. So, in high school, I grew up in Southern California, and it gets really warm in the summers, nothing like Phoenix, but it still gets really warm, so you wear like layers. So I'd go to school wearing sweatpants, and then after it would heat up in the day, I'd take off my sweatpants, and I would just wear boxers for my shorts.
She's running around in boxers.
Totally did wear boxers in high school for shorts.
Oh my gosh. The worst part about Phoenix is it's so hot that everyone wears shorts and shorts because it's hot. And you go into the buildings, the air conditioning is so cold that it's like you need your sweatshirt, but then you have your shorts, you're freezing.
That's why you keep your sweatpants. So then that one class that's cold in the afternoon, you can put your sweatpants back on over your boxers.
Hey, there's thinking right there, people.
Totally wear boxers.
Oh my gosh, so awesome.
All right, well, there's some random things about Sharla and I. And we hope that you enjoyed a little bit of memory lane with us and learning new things. I'm like, did I know everything about you?
I know, I'm like, I'm sure there were some surprises in there for me for you. So that was fun.
So that was fun to do too. So we hope you enjoyed it. Take a trip down memory lane with your friends and let us know some exciting, like, unique things, or maybe you share some things with us, like the Little Mermaid or daisies or volleyball. So like and subscribe and leave a comment if you feel like it.